Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be doing a video based on a full face of products in my collection that are done in collaboration. So what that means is it could be products from an indie brand, a small independently owned makeup company that did a collaboration with a content creator, or it could be, a more mainstream brand that did a collaboration with an artist or a creator. Um, I look at my makeup collection quite a lot and I like to notice different patterns in it. And this is one that I noticed. I saw that I had almost enough to do a full face, so that is what I'm going to do today. And I will say there are products in my collection that I'm going to use today that weren't done in collaboration. So I will just skip through those products really quickly. But yeah, let's just get started. So I do want to start with my eyes today. I am so excited about this video, and then that made me think about other types of full face videos I could do, because this is such a good way for me to use the products in my collection and try to avoid purchasing a lot, although I do still purchase quite a lot of makeup, unfortunately. Yeah. But I'm still excited to show you things in my collection that I've used for quite some time, and I can give you updates on them, or kind of give you my thoughts since I have had these in a while, or for a while, sorry. But yeah, and if you can tell, I'm wearing two different button-up shirts. It's getting chilly over here in the southeast. So yeah, this might look like a strange outfit to you guys, but I did not want to put on a jacket, nor did I want to put on a t-shirt for some reason. So two long sleeve button-ups it is. Okay, so my eye primer is on, and for my eyeshadow today, I will be going in with the Fantasy Cosmetica Enchanted Autumn palette. This palette was done in collaboration with Amanda from Makeup Just for Fun. She's here on YouTube, and Makeup Just for Fun has periods between all of the words. But this is her palette she did with Fantasy Cosmetica, I believe a year ago. Yeah, it's just a cute 12 pan palette with really mid-tone to deep, kind of slightly jewel toned but grungy shades, and I have loved this palette thoroughly, and I enjoy playing with it still. She also released a few other things from her Enchanted Autumn collection with Fantasy Cosmetica. I do have those here, so they're definitely going to be put in this little video. But yeah, she also did release some earrings, or some jewelry pieces, with the first launch, or I don't know if it's the first launch, but basically the first however many orders, you can either choose to get earrings or a necklace. I chose earrings because I was part of that first however many. And Amanda actually has an Etsy shop where she makes jewelry, and I think that's so cute. And this is heart-shaped leaf, and then it has a green bead. I went and looked at her Etsy shop. I've looked at it a few times since last year, and all of her jewelry pieces are so cute, and I want more, but I'm not a jewelry person, unfortunately. Speaking of other products from the Enchanted Autumn collection, I'm going to put on a lip product. So one piece from the Enchanted Autumn collection is the Tinted Lip Balm. I don't recall the shade name of it, but it's a beautiful, beautiful tint. She, I believe, created 4 different tinted lip balms. This is what one shade looks like. I don't remember what it's called, but I do remember each of these shades had a slightly different scent to them. So I'm just going to take the orangey shade and apply it as my prep step. I think this was Fantasy Cosmetica's first time doing tinted lip balms. I think. I could be wrong. But this is a very nourishing lip balm. I enjoy all of the shades that I got from the Enchanted Autumn lip balm collection. This particular shade that I have on my lips does not have any like shimmer to them. There is another one that I do have that has a little bit of shimmer, but you can't feel the particles. All right, let's get into the eyeshadow. I think I'm going to want to do a more like, these are like kind of opposite shades of each other, but I want to use the shade Dogwood and the shade Scorpio. I don't know, when I looked at this palette the other day, I was like, the shades look like they would look good together. Something about it, I don't know. But I do know when Amanda created this palette, she created it in like a way you can, she set it up in a way you can do duos. So like these two shades will look good together as like a two shadow look. These two shades, these two, so on and so forth. I don't recall if she created this in quads either, like a loose format of quads, but yeah, this palette is stunning. I love the relatively small size, and I'm glad my first palette from Fantasy Cosmetica was done with a YouTuber. The packaging of the palette is so pretty. I believe the owner's partner did this themselves. I think it's just such stunning imagery. I don't think it was done with like AI or anything. But yeah, so beautiful. Fantasy Cosmetica is a brand that I've only grown an interest in since last year, or maybe even a little longer than that, because some content creators that I follow on YouTube get PR from Fantasy Cosmetica. And when I discovered that Fantasy Cosmetica does palettes based on like fantasy themes, like in video games and like board games and stuff, I thought, wow, what a cool concept. Like, I sometimes play video games, and the theming of this makeup brand was just like, wow, that is so cool. Why didn't anyone else think of that? But if you go onto the Fantasy Cosmetica website and you look through their product selection, they have like one section called class and another section called world building, I believe. And basically, it's done in like, the most of the eyeshadow palettes are done in one of those two categories, either class or world building. So I believe the Enchanted Autumn palette is in the world building section, and then they have other eyeshadow palettes based on like classes. So if you play video games, you might be familiar, but if you don't, it's like if you're in, if you play a video game that is very like open world concept, where you can just run around and do whatever you want. When you create your character, I mean, obviously you do like the outfits and the nose shapes and stuff. It's kind of like The Sims. Oh yeah, it's kind of like The Sims. So like with The Sims, I don't know if you're even familiar with The Sims either, but when you are creating your character and selecting like different personality traits, or even like selecting what type of job you want them to have, you can select to be a fighter, you can select to be a ranger, an assassin, um, a rogue, a monk, other stuff like that. Like you can literally create your character to have characteristics, or have um, characteristics that are set based on how you want your character design to be once you start playing the game. And it's just such a cool concept what Fantasy Cosmetica is doing on their website with their eyeshadow palettes, with many of their collections. It's so cool. Okay, so this is the shade Dogwood, all over my crease in my outer corner. Blown out, definitely. This is a more like colorful matte in the palette. This is a pressed pigment eyeshadow palette, by the way. Yeah, and Fantasy Cosmetica, ever since I like discovered them through YouTube, I have just, they've always been on my mind constantly, and I can see myself picking up more from their lineup. Speaking of their lineup, they also have things not makeup related, so they create scents. So they have candles, they also have perfumes, and I think in one of their latest releases, they created nail polish. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know which release that was, but yeah, I think this brand is just doing so many exciting things, and I am here for it. There are things other than makeup I have purchased from them, such as perfumes. Their perfumes, they are top notch, you guys. Like, the scents are so different from like the scents sold in Sephora. Like, they're so unique. They have so much, like, I don't know, it just like hits on things that I'm like, wow, I didn't know that I wanted a fragrance like this. But man, I regret not picking up more or like a larger size of the ones that I've finished. Yeah. Lovely, lovely, lovely. This brand is just doing amazing things. And I recently looked on their website. They also um, designed like a wooden magnetic eyeshadow palette holder. So like where you can store your single shades, they have like a magnetic one. And I'm pretty sure the owner's partner made that. Like, they are some cool people. Like, I just cannot believe it. Like, so much creativity coming out from this brand, and I think it's just so great. All right, this is the shade Dogwood, all over my eyes for the most part. I'll show you one more time. It's Dogwood. I think I actually want to take the shade Willow Oak. This might look really strange because this is like a murky shade and this is such a bright shade. I'm gonna try it anyways. I'm going to take the shade Willow Oak, try to blend out the shade Dogwood because it's very bright. I mean, the shades blend beautifully, but kind of want to tone it down a little. So yeah, I'm gonna take the shade Willow Oak. But yeah, I always look forward to seeing like content creators post things um, with Fantasy Cosmetica releases because their their creativity just is so genuine. It's so like interesting, you know? Like, who would have thought to create a cosmetic line based on video games or like different subjects pertaining to video games? I think that's such a cool touch. Okay, that's the shade Willow Oak. I don't know if you can see that slight murky greeny yellow tinge there. Yeah. I do one day want to pick up more from Fantasy Cosmetica. You know, once I get all my ducks in a row. Definitely want to pick up more of their fragrances. I'm like on their website once every 2 weeks or so. And I'm subscribed to their newsletter, stuff like that. And I just like this brand. So many great ideas coming out from this brand. That's kind of cute. Has this slight ombre where it's like that bright burgundy fuchsia. I don't know, I'm not good at colors. Into the murky yellowy green. Some people might not like it, but I do. It helps to tone down and diffuse the shade Dogwood. Amanda from Makeup Just for Fun. I will say I don't think I've ever subscribed to her channel, but I have watched a few of her videos, especially like a few years ago when she was making a lot of like color pop content and like doing shade comparisons and swatches. Like the videos where she does a lot of like shade comparison or swatching videos, those videos I love because she just has like so much in her collection, but she utilizes it to be informative, you know, for the viewers, and I appreciate that. Um, and then like towards like the ends of her videos, she does like these bloopers. I think they're so cute. She seems like such a sweetheart. Uh, yeah, she seems so genuine. So, all right. Love, love, love the blend here. Willow Oak and Dogwood together. I don't think I've ever combined these two since I've owned this palette. Good to know. All right. Now I'm going to take the shade Scorpio here. Scorpio is a standard shimmer or metallic, I'm not sure. Here's what it looks like. There might be like a slight shift to it, but I don't think it's a duochrome. I will say when Amanda created this palette with Fantasy Cosmetica, I'm almost positive she kept in mind like her viewers and like what her viewers kind of wanted. If I remember from her reveal video correctly, she, I don't know, made a post at one point in time asking like, how do you feel about um, having multi-chromes and duochromes in the eyeshadow palette versus like standard metallics? And I think she took note of like what her viewers were voicing, and I think that is why she created this palette to have less multi-chrome, less duochrome, and more just like standard shimmers. Um, Now I can't remember exactly which shades in this palette are duochrome or multi-chrome. I'm pretty sure it's just one or two. I would assume it's this one here called Libra that is the multi-chrome duochrome. Kind of just looks slightly different from the others in this palette. But yeah, I mean, Fantasy Cosmetica's standard formula for their shimmers are pretty. This being their standard formula, people should definitely take a look at their website. Okay, so that is the shade Scorpio. It's so cute. I love this look. Okay, so I think I do want to brighten up my lids just a little bit because it's very deep and smoky, and I love that look, but I think I just need a little bit of brightness to contrast. Let's see. From the palette, I think I want to take the shade Luna here. Luna looks to be like a neutral champagne, or maybe like a neutral taupe metallic. I'm just going to place the shade Luna on like the center of my lid. I'm gonna try not to like fade it out too much into the rest of the lid. I do that a lot because I just go overboard, but there we go. That's the shade Luna. Kind of see the difference? Yeah, it's exactly what I was looking for. All right. Oh, so pretty. Let's see. I think I want to build it up just a little more, of more contrast. I say I'm not trying to take it everywhere, but it kind of looks like I might be. I'll try not to, though. All right. Although I've had this palette for a little close to a year or maybe over a year, I don't think I've explored all of the different shade combinations. And like that's such a good thing about like a curated selection of colors from an eyeshadow palette, but also like a small palette. Like you don't need a 27 pan palette. You know what I mean? Like a 12 pan palette can do the job of what you want. Yeah, I like 12 pans. 15 pans are okay. I'm like, ooh, that's a lot. I think the Coalescence palette is 15 or 16. Can't recall. But I mean, even then, like, it's curated enough. So yeah. But like 12 and 9 pans are like so ideal for me. Okay. That is what Luna looks like on top of Scorpio. I do think I lost a little bit of Scorpio, so I'm going to go back in, kind of add it back in to the edges of Luna. Right. This is like a slight halo eye. I'm still not really good at doing halo eyes, but I will say I think the Enchanted Autumn palette was the first palette that got me back into doing eyeshadow. Though this was released last year, like I think that was like a good turning point for me, where I was like, yes, eyeshadows, colorful shades, like let's get back into it. So yeah. All right, so I think I'm satisfied with that look. I am just going to take this brush that had dogwood on it. I'm not gonna dip back in. I'm just gonna use the remainder and just slightly blend it. Blend the edges where the mattes meet these shimmers. Yeah, this palette got me back into using eyeshadows, being more playful and colorful and slightly bold with my makeup looks. Yeah. This is such a pretty look. Okay. Awesome. And again, this shadow is more of like mid-tone to deep palette. That was intentional on Amanda's part. But yeah, I don't think I want anything on my inner corner at the moment. Yeah, so this is the look. Hey guys, sorry for the jump scare. I lost footage, so believe the last thing I talked about was the eyeshadow palette, the Enchanted Autumn eyeshadow palette with Amanda, done in collaboration with Amanda from Makeup Just for Fun from Fantasy Cosmetica. I believe I was just finishing up the look, and then I hopped off, did my mascara, my eyelashes, and this is what the eyeshadow look looks like so far. We'll hop into complexion in a minute. Yeah. Then I jumped into my foundation and concealer, which those were not done in collaboration with any content creator or anything like that. So after I moved on from that, I hopped back into my eyes to do my under eye eyeshadow. With that, I used Scorpio. I kind of like blended it all throughout my under eye, and then I applied Dogwood just in the outer third, blending it up and out into Dogwood that's on the upper outer corner. And yeah, and then I hopped into my complexion, or at least my color cosmetics on my cheeks. What I used first is the Nude Sticks Nudies Matte all over face bronze color. This is in the shade Manila. Now this one was done in collaboration with Glamzilla. If I'm not mistaken, Glamzilla is a YouTuber or was a YouTuber. I know that she was kind of popular back in like the 20 teens, like early 20 teens. I'm not familiar with her. I don't think I ever watched a video about her or what she does. But yeah, I bought this not long ago. This was the first time using it today. This was on like deep discount at Sephora. So I bought it because I love a discount. I love a good deal. So yeah, I'll show you what the shade looks like. Unfortunately, I don't have the footage, so we're just gonna ignore that. Yeah, it is what it is at this point. I should just always know to be disappointed. Yeah, so that is the shade Manila on me. It's very warm bronzer. Like a slight terracotta orange leaning shade. I have used nude sticks before. I enjoy the blush formula. I'm almost positive this is the same formula as their matte blush sticks and even their slightly glowy blush sticks. Yeah, I really enjoyed working with the product. And then next I went in with the two Finding Ferdinand Summer Broad collection shades that I have for blush. The Summer Broad collection with Finding Ferdinand was done in collaboration with Kaki of Kaki Reviews Beauty. She's here on YouTube. She's one of my favorite content creators. This collection was released like 2 or 3 years ago, I want to say. Now, Kaki did release a second collection with Finding Ferdinand. It was more of like a winter collection. It was called Après Ski. I did buy from that collection. However, those shades just did not stay long in my collection because they were not shades I liked on me. But it was still a good experience. I loved getting to see Kaki's vision and getting to use the products that she collaborated with. But yeah, I'll show you the shade Olay. So when Kaki created this Summer Abroad collection, she did it in terms of like depth levels. If you don't know, Kaki does like she does have an eye for color. She loves color theory. Yeah, so this is the shade Olay. So when she created this, she did the like neutral toned pink shades in 3 different depth levels. This is the lightest depth level called Olay. Now on me, it really has a more like pinky mauve undertone. Could look different on someone with a different skin tone. But this shade Olay I applied more in the center part of my cheek, closer to my nose. The next shade I used was Macchiato. Macchiato, the depth level of it was more for medium skin tones. Of course, all of these could be interchanged amongst different skin tones. Just because you're a medium skin tone doesn't mean you had to get the medium shade, and vice versa. But she did want to cater to a variety of skin tones, so she definitely made a few. This is the shade Macchiato. Now Macchiato leans a little more brown, like a warm brown, maybe more like a terracotta. I don't want to say terracotta. I don't really know how to describe that brown, but it's like warm. It's brown. It has a slight red hue on me. And on someone else, it might not be a red hue, but yeah, slightly red, but still neutral. So that shade I also love. The shade Macchiato I put mainly closer to my hairline back here. And yeah, that is what I have on my cheeks so far. So I was talking about the ABHM Breezy highlighter. Now, I haven't had this in my collection for very long. My friend actually gave it to me because she wasn't using it, so I was very, very honored to have it. This is what the shade Breezy looks like. Now, I know this was like super popular back in like the early 20 teens. I never had the chance to own it because I believe I was still in high school. I didn't have a job at the time. So yeah, just everything just kind of came full circle. She gave it to me maybe a year ago. Um, and yeah, so I'm happy to have it and happy to finally get a chance to see what this shade was all about back then. So yeah, I did swatch it here. That was when it crashed out. I'll swatch it one more time. This is the Amrezy shade. This is a like, it really does take me back to the 2015 of it all, 2016 of it all. Like that is the champagne gold that everyone was using back then. It's still very pretty. The formula's in really great condition. Like, yeah. So, don't have a really good brush at the moment to use with this. So, I'm actually going to take this Oden's Eye brush. I did make a purchase recently from Oden's Eye, and so they kind of like threw this in as a freebie. Uh, yeah. So I'm taking the shade Amrezy. I haven't set my cheeks or my face or anything, so we're just gonna go on like a slightly wet base, but it's okay. I kind of like doing that anyways. All right, maybe I should have set it, but it's okay. Yes, that blinding, very pale highlight was so popular back in the day. It's still very pretty though. I probably should have set my face with powder first, but it's okay. We shall make it work. It'll still come across beautifully, I'm pretty sure. Oh man, I remember I was a highlighter fiend back when highlighter was so big. Yeah, good times, you guys. Alright. Just taking it in the high points of my face for the most part. That is the shade Amrezy. So pretty. I'm not super into highlighter these days. I kind of just let my skincare be the highlighter, or like I just choose not to set this area normally, and I just let that be my glowing highlighter, whatever complexion products I have on underneath. Alright, you guys, face is set, and I am just going to take a little bit more of the Amrezy highlighter from ABH. Because the powder kind of lost, oh goodness, any of the highlight. But oh well, we're here. I'm just gonna do it. Alright. Okay. Now that it's looking a little drastic, I am going to go back in no product with the brush that had the Nude Sticks Glamzilla bronzer on it, the shade Manila. I'm just gonna kind of fade everything in together. And try to like dim that highlight just a little bit. Taking the brush that had the Finding Ferdinand blush, cream blush shades on it, and I'm just going to pat it. Pat whatever the remainder is on my cheeks. This is what I do a lot, even after I've set my complexion. I just kind of go back in with whatever's left over on my brushes, especially my like cream product brushes. I just kind of like add everything back in to bring that hydrated look back to my skin. Yeah. All right, and that is what it all looks like so far. I'm going to take off the Fantasy Cosmetica lip balm, the orange one. Start with a clean base. I like to try and do Nikki LaRosa's like little lip liner hack, how to make your lips look fuller, but like in a very like natural-ish way. Still not very good at it, but it's okay. Practice makes better. Okay, so slightly overlined my lips because I like it. And I will show you some of the products that I have from a few different collections that were collaboration collections. Obviously, I did show you the two Fantasy Cosmetica Makeup Just for Fun, aka Amanda, Enchanted Autumn lip balms, these two. I do have my Lethal Cosmetics Adventure Time lip balms as well. This I applied earlier in the morning when I did my skincare, but it faded after I ate. This is the Princess Bubblegum lip balm. And then I also do have the Lethal Cosmetics Marceline lip balm. This one has more of a reddish, kind of like cherry red hue to it. I don't think this one would look good, would it? Maybe not this red. It would look too Christmassy. Still a beautiful shade. I still love these Lethal Cosmetics Adventure Time collection lip balms dearly. And then lastly, I do have the Oden's Eye Love Language collection done in collaboration with Morgan Turner. Morgan Turner is a YouTuber here. She's a beauty content creator. She makes wonderful videos. This is in the shade Kisses. I believe this is either their Shine lip gloss formula or their Glow lip gloss formula. I will show you what the shade looks like. It's very cool toned, neutral. I feel like I'm leaning towards the Oden's Eye lip gloss. I'm going to use the Oden's Eye Morgan Turner lip gloss in the shade Kisses. When Morgan Turner revealed her, made her reveal video for the Love Language collection, I was so happy for her. The palette is stunning. Just a little spoiler, I did buy the palette. That's how I got the Oden's Eye brush and the lip balm or lip gloss. And yeah, I watched her reveal video. It was so beautiful. I mean, the palette does seem like her. I have watched a lot of Morgan's videos. I remember back when she was a teacher, she said she was a gym teacher or a PE teacher, something like that. And like her students watched her videos and everything like that. And what was it? I think her and her now husband were just boyfriend and girlfriend and everything. Yeah. She's so cute. She's such a sweetheart too. I love her. I love her energy. But yeah, this is the shade Kisses. This is so pretty. I remember watching the reveal video and was like, this shade, she knew what she was doing because she literally said lots of purple looks. Like it's so hard to find like a good lip color with purple or cool tone look. So she made one. I will say it's been a while since I've had a really thick lip gloss formula, or at least like a really pigmented lip gloss formula. I mean, like, all of mine are more like lip oily, lip balmy type, so they're a lot thinner. But it's been a while since I've had like an actual lip gloss, and I'm happy. I'm so happy with my purchases from Oden's Eye, revolving the Love Language collection. All right, you guys, this is the final look. This is using products in my collection that were done in a collaborative effort. Collab products done with either like IPs or AKA the Adventure Time show, or done with content creators or even makeup artists. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the look. I love how everything turned out. You know, people who do collaborations with makeup brands, whether big or small, they have their own vision, and it's nice to see their vision come to life, see their creativity, see how they view makeup, and yeah, it's just so nice. I loved this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, talk to you soon.